Kei te whakarongo mai koe ki te reo irirangi o Aotearoa, it's 7:10.
You're listening to Morning Report. Our primary school teachers and principals have voted to go on strike for the first time in 20 years. A full-day strike will take place in 2 weeks' time on August the 15th. The NZEI says the decision sends a strong message to the government that it's time to fix the crisis in teaching. With us now in the Wellington studio, the New Zealand Education Institute lead negotiator Louise Green. Kia ora.
Morena.
Why the change up from the 3-hour strike?
During the course of the paid union meetings, we heard increasingly from members that the 3-hour stoppage just wasn't enough. It wasn't sending a clear enough and strong enough message. So we've gone back to our members through a secret ballot, and they've told us resoundingly, very strong and clear message, that it's a one-day strike to show how serious this issue is.
What sort of proportion of members were voting for that full-day strike?
A huge proportion of members, really strong, and really strong support for a full-day strike.
So it's clear that you've got the numbers. What sort of numbers were they? Are you able to give us an indication of exactly what proportion of the vote went that way?
We don't give numbers, but I'm giving you my word. It was really strong engagement in the electronic voting and a really strong and clear mandate.
What will this mean then for schools, for parents and indeed for the students?
Well, boards of trustees will make the decision about whether their schools are open or closed, and parents will receive messaging from their boards around that. But it's every teacher and principal's right and responsibility now that the strike has been voted on to actually be on strike and attend the meetings where they will hear the latest offer from the ministry.
Do you anticipate seeing boards of trustees saying to teachers, no, we still want you to work, we still want you to open the school that day, even if the members have actually voted for the strike?
Well, it's their legal right to strike. So boards of trustees and the and school staff work really closely together to do to make sure that good things are happening for children in their schools. We know that our boards actually understand the issues that we're bringing to the party when we're in negotiations, and we have and certainly feel a very good sense of support from our boards and our school communities.
Yeah, I was going to ask about parents. Are they going to be pleased, do you think, that they need to find someone else to look after the children in 2 weeks' time?
We know this is an inconvenience for parents, and but we also know that our parents want the best education for their children. They know what happens when you can't get a teacher because relievers are scarce or applications are really scarce. So they know what happens when you can't get a teacher in front of the child, and they also know what happens when class sizes get too big, because that's the way we actually manage not having a teacher, and they want the best. They also know what happens when their children aren't getting the level of support that they need for them to thrive. So we think we have parent support.
There have been a lot of aspects of education over the last few years that teachers have been unhappy with national standards being an obvious one to pull out. Why is this now so serious that you're going on strike when you didn't go on strike over that?
So this is really serious because it impacts on every single child in the country. So we know that there are 40% fewer people entering teacher training at a time when we have a crisis, where we are really struggling to get teachers into our schools in areas all around the countryside, and also relievers when teachers are sick. And people to take on important release roles. We know that children aren't getting the level of support, and we know there's a strong call from parent communities and the teachers and principals around that.
So what could avert this?
So we're currently in negotiations of now mediation with the Ministry of Education, and we are working very hard to get an offer that actually addresses the issues that we've raised, and we're certainly hoping that offer comes. The intention is that on the 15th of August we take the new offer to our members for them to decide on.
Do you anticipate there could be further strikes?
Well, we're certainly hoping that the ministry and the government are listening to us and that we can avert future strikes, but it does need serious action to resolve serious issues.
But are you getting an indication from the mediation that the ministry and the government are sympathetic to what you're saying?
The mediation has just started, and what happens in mediation is confidential until, of course, we come out at the other end of the process and we take any new offer to our members.
But you can't rule out further strikes at this stage?
Well, our members have been very clear about this. So, depending on what the next offer is, they will certainly let us know loud and clear. I think what we're hearing and seeing is a real sense of frustration and a sense of conviction that we have to act now, because a little pain now is going to avert a lot of pain in the future.
Appreciate your time. Louise Green from the New Zealand Education Institute. She is the lead negotiator there for primary school teachers and principals. They voted to go on strike on August the 15th for the full day. It's 7:16.